My daughter was just telling me that I don't need YouTube videos. And why am I so annoying? And I don't need this, apparently, um, according to her. Interesting. I probably don't. There's a lot of things I don't need in a life, but there's a lot of things I do need in a life to make my life purposeful and to make my life meaningful. Maybe we're just born to not have purpose. What a dull life to not have purpose, to not learn, explore new things, to get more education on matters that we dream of or we want or we would like, but not have the internal power to identify and, to be honest, to acknowledge what needs to be overcome for this purpose in life. Ignorance is bliss. I've heard that statement. There's a lot in that. I get that. Um, but I think every human ultimately comes to a crossroad with their past. And it's at that crossroad um, that the critical is confronted. Do we stay naive to the fear that keeps us from expanding outward into new horizons and into new fields and new worlds? Or do we stay where we're comfortable? Do we stay where we're comfortable? Interesting in these days, the comfort that a lot of us seek in struggling to cope. It's a good thing. There's a drug sector that's available to people that helps humans to soften the blows of life. Work upheaval, relationships upheaval, uncertainty upheaval, addictions, struggle. An integral part of living. Without that struggle, you have got nothing. I was just acknowledging my daughter coming up the stairs because she's friggin' walking, and I told her I was going to do this video, so my apologies for turning a little bit annoyed towards her, but she got the drift. Anyway, she's gone up to her room now. Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot to be said about struggle from a positive aspect. It's so important that we can start looking or maybe developing a different outlook with struggle to make it purposeful. But what's the key to get out of struggle? Like, what is it where you go to a car and you put a key into a lock and you turn it and you get a result and it ignites? Like, what ignites out of struggle? It's different for everybody. It is so different to everybody. But be rest assured, the learning and the educational component is all in struggle. An analogy, it'd be like going to university and not struggling with exams, or not being put under pressure to perform. It's either you adapt with the pressure of life and become somewhat okay with struggle, or it's just going to debilitate you, completely debilitate you. And debilitate you in a way where most people aren't even aware that they're putting themselves in there, and blaming other people and circumstances and things that's happened in your past is a very good description of being locked in that cell. It's hard to get out when everybody else is to blame, and we're not taking the learning out of our purpose in life. And it comes to everybody. There isn't one human being that's alive that cannot relate to what I'm saying. It comes to everybody when they become aware of what has stopped them from progressing. And that's the junction, isn't it? That's the junction. When a light bulb goes on within a soul through circumstances or events that sometimes can present as the worst times in your life. The worst times in your life, that these educational moments can be delivered. Some people, and when I say some people, this is including me. When I talk about others, I'm always talking about myself. You know, the cliche is, it's all too hard. I can't do this. I can't learn. I can't learn about myself emotionally. Well, you can't learn about yourself emotionally when you're blaming everybody else for it. How do you learn out of that? How do you learn out of that? It'd be like sitting in the classroom and blaming everybody else because you didn't stack up to your assignments, or you got low grades, or blaming everybody for drug taking or behaviour that's unacceptable, or abusing yourself because emotionally you struggle to cope, and you haven't found that balance this year. But as I said, in that balance, there's your education. There's your education, and it's sitting there if you want it. But if you're going to externalise it to everybody and everything, and the reasons why this happens is because of this, and you end up being a victim to it all, well, enjoy it. Enjoy that also. And I'm sure people can enjoy it. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm no better than anyone else. And my visions and my theories and my philosophies in life is nor superior or uh, nor arrogant, uh, nor better than anyone. All I'm doing is passing on what's helped me and what's given me a great life. And I'm a living example of it. I'm a living example of what I am talking about. I have created from it. I have mastered it. I have acquired. I have accumulated. I have mastered everything from being at my lowest in prison cells. I'm not even going to go into all that past life, like it's all. It, I've used it to leverage myself out of it. Um, but yeah, I've taken that from from despair, the darkness of despair. There's no way out. To everything I've ever dreamed has happened. I've become a multi-millionaire through having nothing. I've become a nicer person through identifying my behaviours and attitudes and taking accountability. I'm happier. And one of the big aspects to my internal success is the education that I start imagining my life to be. I heard it once say that this is God's training ground. I'm a Christian. And it kind of all stacks up for me, and I resonate with that, because if it's not a training ground and if life isn't educational, why is there so much attachment to educational in one's life? Schools, uni, learning, developing, information, helping, giving. Is it because we care or we're being cared for? I don't know. But education is here and it's in every single one of our lives. If we want to start perceiving life as that, and hopefully doing something about your fears and being honest with it, so you can emerge to where you really need to be. That's life. Being where you truly are brought here to be called upon to be. That's a life. That's a sensational life. If you're not living that, you're living. Fulfillment comes to mind. But on that note, life is purposeful. Life is meaningful. It's exciting. It's enticing. It's adventurous. And it's all here for everybody who wants it. Be grateful for the university of your life. Have a good week.